Hey everybody, I'm not Dr. Nick. Let's see if this thing will work today. No, I want you there. Alright, we're going to do a live egg cutting. Nothing has pipped yet on this clutch. Excuse me, this is clutch 17. And the reason we're going to do it, as I'll explain, and I'm also going to do something I don't usually do because I'm curious myself. Again, this is all about learning, right? We learn as we go. I want to really state that. That light in the background is going to be really annoying for you guys. Maybe we can. Whoa, thing is not wanting to do. If I spin it, maybe that'll be a little bit better. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll just whoop. Hey, that works. I'll use the light as I need. So, boom. What we're going to do today is obviously going to do an egg cutting clutch 17. Now, let's give you a little background before we do this, and that is that this is our Toffino clutch. So, a Toffino bred to an albino. So we should have nothing but albinos and Toffinos. Now, if you followed us for several years, and if we want to at the end, I'll go back and show you. And to answer that, Anthony, what you really would have to do is you'd have to join our Patreon. That's where 99% of all of our animals were sold. I'm currently sold out other than there. Thank you. It's coming in, and thanks to the people who have donated already. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way here. But I really want to get onto this topic really fast, and then tell you what we'll do. So if you're here for our main topic, there, we'll do that. Then you're going to see the egg cutting, and then afterwards, what we'll do on Patreon today is I'm going to set up a number of babies, including all of our scale head stuff. So that'll be fun. 2 clutches and a little experimentation I did on pre-clutch sheds from watching other people and trying it and seeing if it made a difference. What's up, Anna? But before we actually cut these things, here, let me show you something. This is what we're going to be setting up later. Don't mind the old eggs in there. These have all hatched. Whoop. So this is what we're going to set up on Patreon. There's actually 2 clutches in there, but they're really easy to identify apart. So I just threw them together to bring them over to the new house. So if you're on Patreon, stick around. You're going to get to see that. And if I can work this thing any better. Why is it fighting me? Come on. Tripod thing. Oh, that's the problem. I gotta hit the target button and it'll do it. Awesome. I'm learning too because I'm having to try to work this. What we're going to do today, though, is we're going to clutch 17. The reason I'm electing to cut it now is because I've been checking quite a bit recently because, we have some clutches close to pipping, this one and another one. And I noticed one egg that I think is going bad. I noticed the day wasn't looking so great, but I thought, well, hopefully it's as close to pipping, and today I can kind of smell it. So I don't think it's going well. And then kind of poking around, I have another egg that I also think the embryo is probably fully developed in and passed. So what I want to do is I want to basically candle this clutch. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Well, I've got you, seizure induced, right? Well, I've got you here on camera so you can see what I see in these eggs fully developed, including the ones that I don't think are good. And I'll kind of point those out to you as I go. I'll tell you if I don't. So give me 1 second, I'm going to kill some lighting. I'll be right back. Right back. It's going to be a little bit dark, a little funky in here today. All right, time for ghost stories. All right, so it's going to be fully dark in here. Let me flip this around. Get this where you guys can see what I see, hopefully, at least to an extent. Now, no, I want you right there. Why is it trying to move on me? Oh, I turned it off. Hold on a second, guys. This is me not knowing how to work camera equipment very well. There we go. So what we're going to do, first of all, this egg is one I think is good. You can see everything looks good in there. This is one I think is good even though it's small. So I hope so. This is one I feel good about. This one here I feel good about. Now this one here, actually, there was one I touched I didn't feel so good about. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, this one I don't feel good about. I think it's going to look good in there, but I'm not really going to see any movement. And I think what's happened in there is I'm pretty sure that embryo has probably gotten wrapped up or something else has caused it to fully develop yet pass. We're going to find that out. This egg over here, and if you look at it, kind of start changing color. It's a little bit stinky. We're going to light it up, and you can see it still lights up a lot of red. I think it probably died late in development. So here we go. Let's turn the lights back on and let's find out. Now, I may not be able to see all the comments because of the simple fact that, I'm not going to be able to see the camera as much. One thing I am going to do is I am going to disinfect my tool since I did stick it on that egg that I think is bad. We're also going to cut that egg last. Why? Because if there is something on that egg, like if it had a breakdown of its natural ability to defend itself, which they do have, because if the eggs have gotten anything, that one's the only one that looks discolored, then I can definitely show you the parents, yeah. I don't want to transfer that as I'm opening up the eggs. So here goes nothing. I'm going to start with the one that I think has a problem. Figure we'll start with the bad and then get to the good. It may be okay. It may have just been the way it was laying fooling me. Hey, look at that. That's a live baby. So good to go. So less problems than I anticipated. It was just laying funny, so I felt that it felt like it was a little bit stiff, and that was kind of what I was worried about. So, good news. That's good news. So one, and that one from here, it looks like an albino, but they're probably all going to look like an albino until their first shed. There, we got a poke in there. Looks like it was being a problem child. There we go. Reaction. Good, good, good. So 2 for 2. And again, identification is going to be really difficult just because of the simple fact that, good, good, good. So 3 for 3. We're not going to go 6 for 6. Our best luck is probably going to be 5 for 6. And now that I cut that one and I was wrong on it, I do feel pretty good about going 5 for 6. Obviously, this is a boob egg, which would make some people a little bit nervous, but I had good luck on boob eggs. Maybe not today, though. That looks like it's jellified. So here's one that I thought we were going to be okay on, but now I don't. And here's the reasoning for that, guys. So we'll end up separating this egg out. It's a boob egg. You can see how this is all jellified. It looks like a big booger in there. I just don't think we had the room. Yeah, and I'm getting no movement on that. So what we'll do in this case is, again, because we don't know what caused that, so I'm going to go ahead and separate that out. I don't want to get anything from it onto my other egg, so we'll just kind of cut it away. And of course, we'll double check that. Now that we're done, because we had to do all that, we are going to disinfect again. Including my tools and me. Well, we're probably going to get what I thought we were going to get, just not the way I thought we were going to get it. That is unfortunate. But it's part of it. I mean, I just have to say good luck with boob eggs, so I'll show you how much of a boob egg that was. I mean, you can see a lot of that was underdeveloped. So I've had good luck at getting very small babies out of those and doing fine with them. But in this case, it looks like we're going to get no live baby at all. Now, we will remove that and take a peek at it. And of course, since it's fully developed or close to it, if it is, we will offer it to our gator. Now, this is a very liquidy egg. Way more fluid in this one than its other ones. but another albino for sure. An interaction. Okay, that leaves us this egg. Uh, and what I think has happened is late in development, something has caused this to die. I am not sure what, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna try to open it at a. I imagine the insides are gonna be all gooky and green like. Oh yeah. And you're gonna have a dead animal in there. See, no reaction. None at all. But it is a pretty developed animal. So what we're going to do uh, is I'm going to move these like I typically do, and we're going to just do a little bit of work. Need a little more space. There we go. On the two eggs that we want to get inside and kind of see what's going on with them. Remember, we know that they're both deceased, so no need to be gentle here. But I also want to set up so I don't get smelly shit all over my room. Put these in here to keep a little bit warm. All the way back. There we go. Grab me a few paper towels to create a workspace so when I do dribble some of this fluid out that I'm inevitably going to dribble out, it will not be on there. So let me get where I can see you guys and you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. All right. That's probably all the movement we get out of that. So we're simply going to just remove these and have a look and kind of see what we're working with. I'll do this one first. And again, at this point, you're probably saying, oh, you didn't re-disinfect. Well, no, I'm dealing with dead animals, and I'll disinfect when I'm done because, I mean, I can't save these. But I do like to see how far we made it. Oh, there's your problem. So you can see right there, that's a developmental issue, most likely. Actually, nope, that just went really soft. Woo! Give me a second. That smells like a fart. Horribly bad. Ugh. Ugh. Woo. Ah. Okay. On to the next one. Now, this one doesn't have near as bad of a smell. Dude, I know I have seen some people too on here who will take those out and like show that I can't do it. I'll be vomiting on camera. You'd think I'd be used to the smell of rotten flesh with my day job, but I am not really. And I'll get to some of those questions too that I'm not seeing very well when I'm done. I mean, it's hard to see the questions and work with the scissors and everything else. Oh, there's the head. So you can see this one's just teeny tiny. And I think this came down to not having room to fully develop. There you are. That is that snake. So you can see it just with the yolk in there and everything else, it just didn't really have the room to do what it needed to do and come full term. So this is what I'd consider not the best of clutch. We got 4 out of 6. Now the genetics are obviously what we thought they would be. I mean, I'm happy with that, but it's just part of it. So it really kind of sucks. With that one still being attached to, I probably won't even offer that to the croc. What I will do is I'll toss these outside, and I do have some wildlife that will come and clean that up for me. And yeah, and no, I still am. That's still what I do. So, tell you what, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to get rid of this because it smells terrible. And I'll be back. And then we can chit chat. I promise. Chat amongst yourselves for like a minute. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get rid of that. Woo. All right. Yeah, Dalton, I have dealt with it a lot, but it is not my favorite thing to do. Not at all. Not at all. And that is why when I did have to clean up the smell, it was quite bad. Somebody said we need a few more YouTube admins. We probably do. Well, the egg with the band-aid on it's doing good. So here's the thing. I actually have two of those with the band-aid on, and they're both looking fine. Now, I'm going to get to those eggs soon. Thing is, one of the ones with the band-aid on it is one of our experimental clutches. I'm just going to light one of my aromatherapy candles, more or less is what it's for, to kind of help clear the smell. But they're doing fine. These were not the band-aid clutch is at all. But that is somewhat like with our experimental clutch. That's actually clutch 16, but it's cooking slower than clutch 17. I expect it to hatch anytime this week. So I do expect that we will be dealing with that in the very, very near future. So it was just a matter of time. All right. Now let me sit here and I'll share with you some things about those clutches. Oh, you guys didn't want to see the parents. I will get to that. So the reason that clutch is a little bit of a special clutch too is the female, the mother, is an albino. And she laid two really good clutches with me when I first got her. I got her as an adult, almost ready to breed. Oh, the beard. Yes, we are growing that for charity. Thank you, Anna. We get to grow a beard all through November, and to do so, we raise money for local kids that wouldn't get a Christmas otherwise. So, yeah, there you go. And it's just kind of the thing. So that's what we do. Welcome, Trey. So the thing is with that albino, so she laid two really good clutches for me, right? And then we started pairing her to make some to a double het male because that was what we had for an albino male. And she produced two clutches that were slug laden. So we'd get a few eggs, 2 or 3, but we wouldn't get a very good amount of eggs out of her because of just full slugs. So this year we used a different male. We used our Toffino male in hopes to get back to getting a full clutch. And what happened was we got a full clutch. We got 6 eggs, as you saw, but obviously 2 of them didn't do well. So now I'm starting to wonder if there's not something going with that female. So anyway, Leslie, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to somebody else who commented, but yeah, we do weigh our snakes, and we definitely have an incubator. She's not getting that old. She is probably, let's see here. I got her when she was probably 2 or 3, and I've had her, this is her maybe 4th or 5th season with me. So she's probably 7 or 8. So she's, middle age, but she's not old. Anyway, and yes, on that one, pre-lay shed, after the shed, you're going to get usually about a month. Usually it's about 30 days. I've had it go as long as 40 something, and I've had it be a lot shorter. Another clutch I do want to update you guys up on is, if you guys remember, and I'll check the female. I haven't checked her today, but I'm sure she's fine. I'll actually pull her out for you now that I've disinfected. And we did the, oh, you got a little more past. Good girl. We did the fire yellow belly clutch, right? This is our fire yellow belly. This was put to our scaleless head lemon. Now, if you remember, she retained an egg. And what I ended up doing, and I talked about it on Patreon, I haven't talked about it here, I imploded the egg inside of her. And so got most of that out and still waiting for her to get the rest of it out. Now, she is passing little parts of it all the time as we go. So she is doing a very good job. She's very attentive, and she's doing great. So our medical intervention is appearing so far to have worked really well. We put her back in there. And but the thing is, when you have a retained egg like that, it's pretty frequent that there's an issue with something, right? Something's causing that. In her case, it was the very last egg. But even with that, it would appear that the rest of the eggs, something didn't go right with those eggs. So I do think that I'm going to lose most, if not all, of that clutch. I've got one egg that I'm about to just pull and toss, and I've got another one separated that I think is certainly going to go bad. And then 3 of them that are like, ugh. So we will see. Uh-oh, are you sure she's post? I've had people who have thought that they had gone post, and then find out they were still building. So it's if she's pounding food, she may go sinful, but she's not gravid yet. So anyway, with that clutch, we're going to probably have bad numbers on that clutch. And what I do think is going to happen this year, and it's kind of funny because we just released a video today where we went and we were hanging out with Tall Grass. He talked about his incubation method, and he showed that he just kind of does it. It's not really very scientific. And we've gone from just kind of doing it to a little more scientific to see if we couldn't get past that 95% that I really want to be at. I want to be higher than that, and I don't think we're going to be. As a matter of fact, I think we might take a slight step backwards, even though our incubation parameters are more controlled. And I think it's going to be due to that clutch going bad. And this being a 4 out of 6, I mean, that's not very good. Where the slugs, now our slug rate, though, this year, our slug rate is down a lot. And I would too, Anna, especially with the access you have to the vet stuff. I would definitely be running an X-ray on that animal or a sonogram or something. So, and TJ, I want to give you a big shout out today. You gave a really nice donation on your own to our local kids here, and I appreciate it. So, thank you. So anyway, guys, any more questions on that clutch? Well, you did want to see the adults. So let me get you the parents. So, oh my goodness, you just took a massive duke in there. This is Mom. And you can see Mom is a big girl. Big, healthy girl. Although she just took a... Ugh. See if she'll let me clean that up. These girls are eating really good this time of year, especially the ones that we expect to be ready early. And she's always one of my best ones for that. But she did take a shit that a horse would just be proud of. So I'm going to get that out of there really quick. Oh, man. Woo. If you want to see what I'm talking about, like that whole paper towel is full of nothing but shit. So she did a wonderful job. So anyway, that is Mom. Let me disinfect from that poop. Yeah. And I'll pull you out, Dad. Have to go find him. I'll also show you some of the size disparity in males and females too. So this is Dad. That was his first ever clutch. And you can see he's a really nice Toffino male, but way smaller. So and yes, in general, this is a smelly night for me. I did see that comment come in. So he plans to make super pastel SK Xanthic babies. Also, do I hear rodent squeaks? You don't hear any rodent squeaks in here today, at least there shouldn't be. I mean, we do have a few small rodents we've left for a few nights trying to get some of our babies to eat. But we have a super pastel Xanthic. We made one last year. I've got one this year as well, so we have done that. We will make more this coming season, most likely, just with the pairings we plan on doing. I have 2 Xanthic pastels I plan on breeding to a zebra bee. So that is definitely something that's going to be in the wheelhouse. Hopefully, we'll get several of those. So, hi, Ryan's Arachnids. All right, guys, doing 3 and 2 days off. Oh, you're talking about for pairing? If you do, that'd be fine. I mean, we pair pretty hard with our males. As long as they're eating good and their size stays, I'm pretty hard on them, to be really honest. Hi, Happy Jones. Now, one thing I want to cover is whoever tells you that a SK is going to brown out more than VPI is 100% full of shit, or they just don't know what they're talking about, or they're just trying to sell you their line. Most likely the third. So the reason I chose SK is because it was what I found locally that had a really nice examples. Nothing more than that. VPI is a fine line too, and it's not such that one line is better than the other. It's kind of a what can you get a hold of, and what is local to you, or what do you have a good source for. I think the best Xanthics in the nation are mine. But in all honesty, if I wasn't going to promote my line, like buy my stuff, I would say some of the best Xanthics in the nation you're going to find are from JD Constriction, which is John Dog. John's up in Iowa, and John uses SK line. So that is why I went with SK line, because I felt like the best examples could be had there. And he made those by line breeding and selectively breeding and choosing his animals, not just because of they have X, Y, and Z in them, but based on the actual look to recreate that farther down the line. So that's what makes the biggest difference. There's not one line that's better than the other. And anybody who says VPI is superior or brown out less, they are just trying to sell you something. Just that's it. And they say SK is better, well, brown out less. They're also just trying to sell you something. So I appreciate that, Mike. And thank you, Anna. I love SK Xanthic. Xanthic is my favorite gene, but had I started with VPI, it would have been VPI. I was really looking for just an Xanthic as a pet, and the first one I came across that I really liked was SK. So there you are. Actually happened to be produced by John. MJ line, so the Marcus Jane line, I haven't studied too much about it, and the reason I haven't is it came out after I was already kind of committed to the SK line, right? And so I don't know if it's compatible with any other line. Now, I know in listening to Marcus, I don't remember if I talked to him or if I read an article, I've done so much, it's hard to remember. He hit that on a lightning pied, and he didn't even know he had Xanthic. So what you really had to get the Marcus Jane line is he had an unknown hets floating in his collection. And that happens. Like it happened to us with Carmel. I mean, it happens, right? So that's what he ended up with. And so he had no idea what line it was. I mean, he had no way of knowing. So he just said, it's MJ. I know it's compatible with my own stuff. And so I don't know if it was ever proven compatible. Well, there you go. TJ said it wasn't proven compatible with SK or VPI. It could still be compatible then with, there's another line out there. I always forget the name of it. It made the first snow. It's named after a gentleman. And it's a lot less that you see of that. It could be compatible with that, or it could be just a new line that popped up. So it's one of those. Jolliffe, thank you, Jolliffe line. But if you get in the Marcus Jane line, you got to stick with it. Like stick with your lines, because otherwise it's going to be rough for you. So, and no, in the males, yeah, somebody said about 600 grams. That's what I'll breed my males. I like them to be like that, about that size. So somebody said, Mike, I think you can still join. What are we talking about on joining? I'm not sure. So, right. You'll get all hets, but you get all double hets. So what he's saying is, you took a Marcus Jane Xanthic, or I'll know more about VPI and SK I'll use, but if you took a VPI Xanthic and an SK Xanthic and you bred them together, all the babies that come out would look normal. Now they'd all be 100% double het. Mike Holt. I don't know if I call it a colt or not, but we do have a video about making an incubator. If you check back in our archives, it's on there. It should, Robert. It should, because it pays me through PayPal. So a lot of times, though, they may want a card. I don't know if they'll take PayPal for that, unless they know there's going to be money in the PayPal account, or if there's money sitting in the PayPal account. I'm not sure. You may have to try a card. I don't get to choose the payment methods, so yeah. And what do you mean there's no such thing as sperm plugs? There's absolutely a thing as sperm plugs. And Ryan's Dragons, we are going to breed carpets. I'm just getting my female up to the size I want her to be, and I'm not really pushing her. So maybe this season, maybe next season, I'm about to move her to a big tank, and yeah. See, okay, so Anna's used it. So I'm not sure on that one. It may be... Now, Anna, when you use it, not to get everybody's personal finance, but do you keep cash in PayPal? Like, I know I keep cash in PayPal all the time for buying stuff and moving stuff, so... I'll tell you what, Anthony, as far as finicky eating goes, I see more finicky eating the more animals I have. So I found that when I had just a handful of animals, let's say 15 or less, I was like, why are people talking about these things don't eat? All of mine almost eat almost all the time. It's a boom, 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 boom. And I appreciate that, Kowski1911. Based on your name, we should probably find a range and go hang out too. The more animals I have, the more finicky they tend to be. And so I think that is... there's the 1,000-gram wall in your females. That is a real deal. So that could be part of it. But I do think that is, the more animals you have, there's more hormones going on. And if you watched our first video from TGR, he really talked about using I have a 1911 I'm absolutely in love with. I actually have a World War II one. I won't say I own it, but I am the custodian of it. That's probably the best way to put it. By check deposits to PayPal, man, and there should be. I don't know, Robert. You may have to email them and ask how, because we'd really love to have you. I mean, everybody on there is a huge help to furthering what we're trying to do here. So that would be awesome. We do, Ryan, but we do it through the shop that we own part of. So Manhattan Reptile World is a shop that I own a 25% of, and Camera Guy Kurt owns 25% of, and all of our rodent breeding is done there. So yeah, now the first tall grass we did, that's why I got sidetracked. He's actually keeping his grow up males completely separate in hopes that that'll keep them eating and growing better, and keeping the young ones separate from the hormones. So I'm very interested to see how that works out for him long term. I hope it does, and if it does, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, because the way I've kind of set up, I'm a little bit committed. But yeah. We probably won't do it through a lot of snakes tonight, Malin. We will be going through snakes in all of our vids coming up. We've got some clutch releases to film. I hope to film this weekend. And yes, Mike, you can become a member even if you're in Canada. I'll be honest and I'll be upfront though before you do. We would love, 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 love to have you, but you will not get quite as much bang of the buck for the buck as the people in the United States. And the reason is that we will not be able to ship to Canada. So without us being able to ship to Canada, that kind of hampers. Now, T-shirts and things I can ship to Canada, but I can't ship reptiles to Canada yet. So I want to be upfront that way that if you do jump on board, that is one thing I can't do. So just be aware of that. But otherwise, you will get all the content, and we'd absolutely love to have you join. Every time we do a live here, we do a live on Patreon. Every time I do a video, we do a video on Patreon. Today's Patreon video hasn't been released yet because Kurt's still working on it, but it is going to do that. There is a way to ship to Canada, and through the company I use, they can do it. What they do, and the reason I don't do it is because if you look at how it's shipped. So you ship to a place in New Jersey, so overnights to New Jersey. They then take it by courier over the border and then ship it again to its destination in Canada. So you end up with 2 days shipping and everything else. And it's just, yeah, well, we haven't figured out what to do with the hats yet. We really haven't. I need to figure something else with that. So we're working towards that, but definitely shirts are there, and yes. And if you have a few friends right over the border, yeah, dude, I could ship to them and you could come pick it up. I got no problems with that. Or if you have a way to come across, I can ship to a FedEx ship center, just on our side of the border, and you come get it if you're like in a border town. We could figure that out, right? Big bucks, like I'm not sure what the big bucks part is. Oh, for shipping, yes. It is big bucks for shipping to Canada. It's very, very expensive, and it's also just one of those things. And of course, we can say hi to Katrina. That's not a problem. We've got hats. It's just a matter, Naomi, of what we do with them. So, like, I ordered a bunch. You see me wearing them sometimes. Not today, because I went to my other house. The Incubator still is, and grabbed a bunch of stuff and brought it over here, And there you go. And Mal, I have no idea what the laws are in Canada. And I am in the United States, so I ain't gonna question what somebody else does. If I ship it to the U.S. and they take it to Canada, hey, not my problem. If there's some papers involved that they got to get, I'm shipping to the United States. So there you go. My supplier for drop shipping what? Hats or rodents or snakes? We've talked about a ton of stuff. The Canada way. That's how my current reptile shipper does it, and I don't know if there's one out there that does it better, but the price is expensive. I can meet you at the border. It's a little bit of a drive for me. Kansas to the border is a long way. What's the website to buy a snake from Antonio? 99% of our stuff sells on Patreon, so you almost have to join Patreon. That's just kind of the way it is. Oh, so our hat supplier. So here's why we do our hat and T-shirt supplier. It's a company called InZone. I like to work with InZone because my salesman is actually a friend of mine, and so I've got a good connection there. They're a local company. So the money I spend stays in my local economy, which is I kind of like. And so if I have an issue or a problem, I can just kind of get a hold of somebody there, and they ship all of that to one spot for here. But then I can still take and ship it anywhere else out. And Kurt doesn't have a desk. He's short. He just works on the floor. No, Kurt has his own house. When he works on the videos and things, he's got a spot he works at. So he's got his own house for that. Like, yeah, this is my house I work in because yeah. Oh, 6 hour drive where I live in Iowa to Wichita. Uh, you know what? If you're that's not too far from us. We're about 2 hours from Wichita. We're closer to Iowa, so there you go. If you find a way to make it work, Mike, sign up. We'd love to have you. I just want to be up front. Like, I don't want people signing up and then being disappointed. I mean, we're going to disappoint some people. It's the nature of the beast, and I don't even. I mean, I'm okay with that. But I want to offer as much as we can, and some of the things we offer when we can't offer to those in Canada, I just want to be up front and let you guys know uh, up there to the Great White North what we can and what we can't do. That way, it's not a you were here for a long time and then you find out and that kind of thing. We did cut. We got 4 out of 6. Unfortunately, we had 2 that were a loss. Sad day, but all albinos and Toffinos. So a dead zone in Vegas. I know there's a shop in Vegas. There's a show in Vegas, I do believe, but in Vegas ain't that far from Cali, and depending on what part of Cali you're in, there's several guys. I mean that breed, that I could certainly recommend off the top of my head. Anything that Brian Gundy does is awesome. So our Patreon is just www.patreon.com/Olympus Reptiles. And then too, of course, Brian. I already mentioned Brian Gundy. Brian Cusco is really good, and then you got Miguel. Miguel's doing great things there. So you got several dudes there in California that I think are really good. I'm sure I've left some out. So I mean, there's that big reptile shop who's God. I can see his face. I can see him pulling retics out the eggs and looking at them, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The clutch and the test incubator, Cerny. So I actually did open that for the first time in about 58 days today, just because I couldn't see them all and I wanted to see if anything had pipped, and nothing had pipped, so they're back in there. All the eggs are looking good. I do expect that when something does pip, we will have 100. Jay Brewer, that was the name I'm thinking of. Woo! And Aqua Balls is in California too, so there you go. I do think we'll have full live hatch rate there. I do. Will they all be perfect? I don't know. That's why it's a test incubator. So we'll see how that goes. I hope so, because truth be told, it's been a little bit of a rough year. It's been a little bit of a rough year because of the accidental caramels. The 2 clutches of those were really a kick in the nuts. And then, we've lost probably would be a normal set of eggs other than this last clutch with the retained egg, which I don't count the retained egg as a loss because it's not laid. I killed that egg. But the eggs not being formed properly is causing issues inside. So I'm afraid we're going to lose a little more than I want to lose, which is a bummer because those were all going to, not all, but they have been scaleless head eggs. And scaleless head eggs, we got some ideas for that project we're working on. So we'll go from there. Let me make sure I get this girl's tub closed all the way. You'll crawl out, won't you, girlie? I know you. And then we're also still waiting on some eggs. No clutch there yet. One more to check and I'll set it back down. Oh shit, you guys are in for a treat. For those of you that stayed on, all 92 of you, I want to show you something. Wayland, your ass better be on here. You're going to be mad at me. There it is. Look at that. I don't know how many we got in there, but that is our super oddball dark snake sitting on a clutch of eggs. And I don't think she's done yet, or maybe she is. Maybe she's just shivering them. Yeah, she looks like she's probably done. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there minimum. Well, wait a minute. 6 or 7. Can't really tell. So, that is the darkness, David. I just showed you the darkness. I just showed her to you sitting on eggs, shivering on them. Look at that. There you are. Bam! Now, that is the darkness, Anna. I'll close her back up. I'll be pulling those eggs and taking them home to set up today. Woo! So there it is, clutch 21. It's not too late for laying eggs, obviously. We'll see. Did any of the kinked babies live? One of them's still alive, but I'm kind of waiting to see if it'll eat, and I'm refusing to force feed it, which sounds really oddball, but let me explain why we're doing that. Because my fear is if there's something internally wrong, and that's why it's not eating, and then I go and I force feed her, I'm just going to cause the suffering to be worse. When I say her, I'm not even sure, and I can't sex it because it's kinked up right there. So to get an accurate sex on it is pretty damn near impossible. I would put its chances of survival at probably 15%. It needs to eat and needs to poop. It does those things and cool. And if I can get it to survive, then I'm going to let it survive, and we'll send it to somewhere as a pet, and not to be bred, because well, caramel, right? Caramel. So it's the delay. So you had to wait to see him, huh? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop up off of here, and then I'm going to slide over to Patreon. And with Patreon, I'm going to set up 2 clutches of eggs to include, or not clutches of eggs. I got eggs in the brain now. Set up 2 clutches of snakes. You guys are going to get to see some babies. Plus, I'm going to log what we've done and kind of share where our numbers are at right now this year. And then pull some eggs, man. Pull some darkness eggs. We probably will sometime. You know what? I'll show it in this vid really quick before I go. Because, like I say, I'm not 100% sure it's going to make it. So, I haven't got it to feed yet. Although, I mean, it doesn't look skinny. So here it is. It is a caramel. And the kinking is all back here. So there you can see the problem area. Everything up here is perfect. But back through here, the cloaca would be right there. So you have a lot of kinked up stuff there. So I don't know if the digestive tract is going to make it through. You know, I just don't know. So there it is. Put that one back now. I will have a little one. But it's alert. It's active. It does all those things one would want it to do. So yeah, it's just a matter of a whole bunch of we'll see, right? Now is the time to sign up for Patreon Canada. Yes, Patreon Canada. Come on in. Yeah, you know, World of Ball Pythons is a double-edged sword. It's got a lot of great things on it, but I've also made things and looked at there and I'm like, mm-mm. So there's some bad info on there, some good info on there. So, yes. Well, Leslie, we're going to call them sperm plugs because that's what everybody calls them. It's kind of like saying, you know, super pastel. That's also a bad term, but everybody understands when you say super pastel. If you wanted to get technical on that, that would be a homozygous pastel. But it's just one of the terms that we use in our profession. So sperm plugs it is. Much easier to say, much easier for people to understand, and there it goes. Has it pooped? Not that I've really seen. You know, I think it got a little bit of urate out once, if I remember correctly, but we haven't had a good poop. So, what do I know about Orange Ghost? I know I like Ghost, and most of Ghost line's compatible. So, what is the link? The link, I can't type on these damn things the way this is set up. So, I can just tell you what it is. But if you look at any of our other videos, the link is in there. So, it's just, or if you just go to Patreon and search Olympus Reptiles, you know, you'll see my big purple emblem with the Don't Tread on Me snake. So, yes. And the darkness was paired actually to her brother. And there's a reason for that. They were unrelated parents when we put them together. So this is the first sib to sib pairing, and we're trying to prove out that dark color and see if there's something to it. Her brother is a spider that also has very, very dark sides. So I'm hoping that they're both showing the same thing. But we'll see. They were both born very, very small too. So that could be part of it. It could have been just something weird, some small eggs. The other thing that they both are is they are both 100% het for Exanthic and Ghost. So we're looking for some true Ghost in there. So even if it doesn't prove out, there's a chance for Ghost, Exanthic, and Exanthic Ghost, and then also Spider and all of that. So it's still a pretty exciting clutch no matter what. So go us, right? All right, guys, let me hop off of here, slide over to Patreon. So I got some work to do there. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.